Man, come on! I had a really rough night and I hate the fucking Eagles, man! Yep, the dude doesn't approve of your Eagles. The Romans sure love them. Let's take a look why in the movie The Eagle. Roman Empire, Britain, 120 AD. Aguila, who is the commander of the 9th Legion, he sets off along with 5,000 men and Eagle to parts unknown in beyond Hadrian's Wall or whatever. And they soon goes missing along with the fucking Eagles. Now, the Eagles wasn't just some fluff that they were bringing along with the armies. The Eagles were the symbol of Rome, the symbol of the emperor. It was the biggest swagger that they had. It maybe was more important than anything else. Carrying the eagle was a great honor in the Roman legions. Losing one, not so much. In fact, they started several war campaigns in Germany to bring the eagles back that General Varus lost back in those days, and they were prepared to go to war and do extremely evil stuff to get back their eagles. So losing this thing was not the greatest thing that ever happened to Aguila and his folks, I might add. Commander Aguila, he did have a son who 20 years after he disappeared, arrives to Britain to assume command over a garrison in Britain. And people, knows who he is and knows that his father lost the eagles, and they are concerned because it's a bad omen to have this son of the shame of Rome as their new leader. But fear not, because Aguila Jr. is a fierce military leader, smart strategist, and cares about his men. He's popular. Yay! Aguila, played by Channing Tatum, can't get this thing of the missing eagles out of his head. He wants to go beyond Hadrian's Wall in order to try to find them. He argues that an army cannot hide over there, but one man can. Along with his slave, played by Jamie Bell, he goes into the unknown, and they try to find the eagles in order to restore glory to Rome and to his family name. And this is essentially our movie. So after The Gladiator in the year 2000 made a big impact, both becoming Academy Award winning for Best Movie and being a huge box office attraction and all that stuff, and relaunching Ridley Scott's career, Hollywood responded by, doing what it normally does, riding the wave. I wouldn't say that it became a trend of making modern sword and sandal pictures, but for a couple of years they actually trotted out a couple of them every once in a while, usually European co-productions and stuff like that, often quite brutal, and but no one really could match the epic awesomeness of Gladiator. This one is probably one of the weaker in comparison to Gladiator, in my opinion. Now, it does have a lot of perks. It has a really, really, really good cinematography. It has a very interesting story, and it has, very believable battle sequences, and it has a lot of authenticity to it, with some small exception, which I won't go over here. However, it does have one very big obstacle that it cannot quite climb. What is it, you ask? Channing Tatum is the answer. Casting is so important, and while he today is a not great actor but a pretty okay actor, Channing Tatum was in 2011 a nightmare, for me at least. Sure, he had a chin that wouldn't quit, And sure, he was a very sexy boy indeed. However, the problem is that he also had no charisma whatsoever. He's probably one of the most boring and uninteresting actors working at that point. He was a sort of combination of Jai Courtney and Sam Worthington, only worse, when it comes to how disinterested you were in him. And Jamie Bell, who, well, is a better actor than Channing Tatum, but he's still also, I've always seen him as a wimpy kid who is also a charisma vacuum and also has absolutely zero balls. Add to that a less than stellar direction, which is a bit clunky at times, an ending I have never been a huge fan of, so it carries a lot of baggage. However, I must give the movie serious props for its old school approach to everything. It feels like it could have been made, much earlier. It could have been made in the 80s or the 60s or the 70s or something like that. It doesn't have the, too polished modern feeling about it, and I give massive props to. The visual spectacle of it is quite impressive. If you like this type of historical action sequences and likes, the Roman movies with, sword and sandals in a modern thing, I would definitely recommend it. However, I think that the movie Centurion, and also, despite having some flaws, King Arthur is a much better movie than this one, but it is an interesting and entertaining enough movie. That has gone under the radar, and if you haven't seen it, I would definitely, give it a watch. By the way, this and King Arthur, why do you always go beyond the Haradrim's wall? It's there for a reason, you morons. Whew. Dumbasses. The battle sequences are pretty good, and I will maintain that the restricted use of CGI gets massive thumbs ups from me. But Channing Tatum is pretty bad and Jamie Bell is okay. Donald Sutherland, of course, is the MVP of this movie. He always brings out the big guns. The rating of 63 should really tell you everything you need to know. It is a good movie with great cinematography, but pretty bad casting and not expert acting. There are, good things about it, especially from visual standpoint, but it doesn't have the oomph it should have had. So that was The Eagle. I think it's a good movie, but by God, it could have been better. So I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.